So just as we close up, I'm going to ask you one more question that I didn't even tell you about that just is occurring to me. I've known you for a while, and you have in my observation, a very natural sense of future thinking, openness to change. Have you always been like that? Or is there a practice that you could share with folks that if they feel like, well, but that's hard. What do you mean fearless? I can't just fear less. I feel fear. Is there any
Yep.
practical daily or thing that you could start doing to start to shift your mindset? Or have you just like always been super forward thinking and didn't have to work on that? That could be the case. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, no, I learned more. My career was, I was a teacher, a principal, assistant superintendent, superintendent, commissioner, worked for the Gates Foundation. When I started to go outside of the public structure, um, um, and went into the Gates Foundation, their level of thinking was very different. We get,
Yes.
it's thinking is looking ahead and not so much looking back. But
Mm-hmm.
it's and then I I left there. I left the Gates Foundation to start to really work in more of a future focused work. And I went to be dean at Southern New Hampshire University, and it was at that university that the president of that university, a guy by the name of Paul LeBlanc, who's a brilliant guy, um, took Southern New Hampshire University from being bankrupt to billion-dollar industry in the nonprofit world. Um, they basically always asked us to. He always taught us to challenge the status quo. Like,
Mm-hmm.
why are we doing what we're doing? So we would get regular notes and say, have we'd finish a semester. Look back in that semester and what do you challenge? Why did we do what we do?
Mm.
Because the point about having that North Star is, are you heading in the right direction? We do things that, we're just not sure about. And so I really felt like in that point, I have this view now that I challenge what we're doing more than I
Yeah.
do challenge the new ideas. Like, why are
Right.
we like when you think about it, when you think about standardized assessment in the public schools, everybody takes a test and it's timed and it's all about recall. Um, and when you look at the data, there's a great video that uh, um, uh, Linda Darling Hammond did on uh, how kids forget what we teach them in school within 2 months. They're gone.
Mm-hmm.
All right, it's
Mm-hmm.
gone because it didn't get into their inner brain. We just they do it to give us the answers, and then we go on. And what we have to do is think about these young children. Now, if I was in Head Start today, I'd be saying, I'm sitting in this room with the future doctors, the future scientists, the future Uber drivers, you name it, they're in this room, and I've got it, and they're going to live in this crazy, unpredictable world. And I'm worried about what my day is. I want to help them to be optimistic, to be more future focused. And I think that's basically, um, in my mind, it's how I started to really get a sense of, yeah, where are we going? Not where have we been? Where are we going?
Mm-hmm.
That's what excites me. It's
Yeah.
and can we take a negative look at the future? Yeah, we can, but when you think about it, we've this world has changed a lot, and look, we're still fine, and things get along, and I kind of get into my own little spot. So I would say it's that idea of challenging the status quo and not assuming everything is
Yeah.
just perfect.
Yeah. I love that. I love that. And I think that, I'm remembering a video you shared, with the dad building Legos with his kiddo, and the
Yes.
bridge is
Yep.
off kilter, like one side is
Right.
shorter than the other, and so dad takes some Legos to make it longer, and the kid goes, no, 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 let's take these off, and
Yeah.
makes the bridge shorter, so he
Yep.
takes away to make it stronger. And it's a great analogy for this idea of look at what you're doing now and why. And if there isn't a reason for it, and it's not adding to the
Yeah.
overall experience. And then the other thing that you said that I'll highlight as we close up, you come and support our executive leadership credential at our summit. You've done this 2 years in a row. That whole program is put together for high level leadership in Head Start, and we don't do one thing Head Start related all year long. The whole point, and I'm just going to marry it to what you were talking about. Sometimes a good practice is get out of your own space because it jogs your brain. So we do work on innovation, but not in education. We do it, we read a whole book on corporate innovation, and then we say, okay, how do we take that and apply it? We do a whole bunch with you and other leadership folks out there that have nothing to do with Head Start or early childhood. So
Yep.
maybe one of the pieces of advice that I hear you saying is everybody on this call right now can go look up a blog or an article or a video, not about early childhood, not about
Exactly.
Head Start.
Yep.
Go read or expose yourself to something else and then see how it applies, because those nuggets that fall through are just, to me, that's invigorating stuff.
Well, you just struck something, and I'm sorry to extend this any longer, but the when I went to work for the Gates Foundation, we were at a meeting with Bill Gates was there, and one of the things he said was we were in the education group, and he said, I'd like you people to start reading magazines from other professions. I'd like you to go to a conference that's not an education conference and see what other people are thinking and doing. And I remember doing that. And that's when I started to really, I opened up, I started buying Harvard Business Review and all these things where, and then thinking about the future and not the past. Like I'm looking for, I remember from my mindset of saying, I'm looking for a really good school. And I'm saying like, well, we're in learning. So, what are the best things happening in the world in learning and starting to look overseas, not just look
Mm-hmm.
internally? And I
Mm-hmm.
found some amazing things. And, we have, like, in this country, we have strange ways of doing things. We have career technical education for our high school kids. They can't get into it until they're in their junior year. That doesn't
Yeah.
make any sense. All around the world, I'm going in Canada. They have sixth graders getting engaged in, and guess what? They're learning and they're having a great life and they're staying. So it's not always what we're doing. Let's look and let's create the future for these young kids. They are looking to us to help guide the way. And I'm from my days in early childhood, I'm just, I always remember just saying, this is the future in this room. How do we get them, to live in that incredibly challenging, very fast-paced world.
Well,
Anyway, hey, it's
thank you
always fun
so
chatting with you,
much.
Dan.
Yeah, me too. And everybody watching this, this is the day before Thanksgiving that Ray jumped online with me, and I'm so grateful because I wanted a chance to engage with you and share it with our leadership in hopes that it lights a fire and helps a little bit. And I wish you a wonderful Thanksgiving and a great
Same to
trip
you.
to Mexico. I know you're going to Mexico,
Yep.
and I hope you have a great, safe trip. And
Hey,
I will
thanks.
catch up in the new year.
Let's stay in touch.
Take care, Ray. Bye.
Bye.